Hello, 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 everyone. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. All right, Kathy, number one, girlfriend. And there you go. Linda, number two. Number two. Lisa, number three. All right. And number four, Miss Justice. Prayers, love, and justice for little Summer. God bless. Second to none. How you doing tonight, sweetie? Good to see you. Let me see. Deputy, God bless. Much love to you. Good to see you in here. Karen, good to see you, hon. Oh, we got somebody had a birthday. Happy birthday. Absolutely. Let me see. I'm heading to the bottom, you guys. Hey, Bridget, how you doing tonight, sweetie? And let's see. There is our Australia. Hey, much love to you, girl. Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And let's see. Hey, Charlene, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, hey, hey to you, Linda. Kaylee, how you doing? Oh, that's beautiful. All right. Robin Shack, how you doing? Good to see you. Where's Molly PG? Probably in the bushes. Molly's probably in the bushes. That's where Molly hangs out, right? Hangs out in the bushes. And trust me, Molly will pop up. She'll pop up if something's going on. She'll pop in here. Um. Anyway, I wanted to talk about cameras at the cemetery because so many people are like, oh, they're not checking the cemetery because they was cameras. No, there wasn't. There was no cameras. Absolutely not. Yeah, I love Molly. I absolutely love Molly. Anyway, right here. Hocking County's investigators did not collect surveillance footage from Morrison Cemetery because there was no cameras at or immediately around that location. Instead, early in the investigation, police gathered footage from personal systems, businesses, and traffic cams along nearby roadways like Beach Creek Road, Ben Hill Road to identify vehicles. Um, well, how are they going to have those cameras even anywhere near Beach Creek or Ben Hill when there wasn't no damn Wi-Fi? I mean, law enforcement was up there without Wi-Fi, right? They had to bring extra technology in order for their phones to work, in order for them to be able to do what they were doing. So that's bullshit. It's bullshit. Um, the only surveillance that they had off of Ben Hill Road that particular day was a trail cam coming out of Ben Hill Road, a neighbor's trail cam coming out of Ben Hill Road onto Beach Creek. Other than that, there was no damn cameras. Every camera disappeared except for that one. And that's all they had. That's the only little bit of surveillance that they had. Um, and it was pointing in the wrong direction. It caught Candace and it caught Chad Arnold coming out of Ben Hill Road. And it caught Candace coming behind him. But once they passed it up, went past it on out onto Beach Creek, there was nothing. That's where law enforcement lost Candace and where Candace went behind Chad Arnold. That's where everything got lost because there was no surveillance whatsoever. So they had no idea if they turned left or if they turned right. They had no idea if they went over there to Morrison Cemetery where that grave was already being dug, or if they went to Van Hill Road, or if they went, they don't know where the hell they went. They have no idea. The only thing they know is Candace came back in alone. Her vehicle came back in somewhere around 5:40 something, like 5:45, 5:55. I'm not completely sure on, hold on, and I'll tell you. The correct roundabout time that can around 5:45, and she came back. Candace returned around 5:45 back up onto Ben Hill Road. She came back off of Ben Hill Road about 6:22. She denied being out. She denied coming off of Ben Hill Road the first time when she followed Chad Arnold out of Beach Creek. She denied ever being off the hill during that time. Even though they had surveillance of her following Chad, she still denied it. And asked them if, she asked them, she says, am I under arrest? Because if I'm not, I want to leave. And they, for some reason, they told her, maybe the video footage wasn't really clear enough to pursue any type of charges or put her under arrest. I didn't see the video footage, right? So I don't know. I haven't seen that camera footage, but I do know that it obviously was clear enough for them to know. And then they got a hold of Chad Arnold and he confirmed it. He confirmed, yes. They told him that they have footage of him coming out, of Ben Hill Road onto Beach Creek and Candace behind him. And he said, yeah, that he had, that he was at Fred's and Candace showed up down there and, said she was looking for her little girl, was missing. And it was about 4:30-ish. And he said, told law enforcement she was wanting to know if Fred, and she was already there when he went to Fred's, is what he told law enforcement. He said that she asked if, Fred and them was there, and he said he didn't think so because their vehicles weren't there. This is the story he was telling law enforcement, and he said he left, and soon when he was leaving, she was behind him and came out behind him onto Beach Creek. He said at that, after that, he don't know really where she went, and that he just went on his way. So that was his conversation with law enforcement. But she did not return back into Beach Creek. And with his, with Chad, even if the footage wasn't real clear with what Chad said, with Chad admitting that she followed him out, then they were able to know, okay, that's Candace's car. So when that car came back in, they knew, yes, this is her car coming back in. Um, Same car, even if it's on clear, you can tell, the shape and everything is the same vehicle. So it came back in around 5:45. Um, that that's about the time she went back up on the hill. She probably talked to Grandis for a few minutes, and then um, decided that she was going to go over and uh, gaslight the boys up, like she sent Summer inside the house, and then she went in herself, asking where Summer is, and the boys were like, "Oh my gosh, we didn't even see her. We haven't seen her all day. We thought she's outside, but she might be down in the basement. Mom, you know, go down there, get away from us." And she came back up. She's not in this basement. Where is she? And, um, the boys, these boys are just kids. I mean, they're not thinking like adults. Like, why do, an adult would be like, why the hell you come straight in the door asking where somebody is when you didn't even look for them? How do you know? How did you even know they're missing before you was even in the house looking for them? Kids don't ain't observant like that. So she was able to gaslight the shit out of them, and they're scared of her anyway. And then she was like, get your asses out there and try to find your sister, you know. And they probably all scattered outside, and you're not going to, somebody's really missing, you're not going to send the rest of your kids out there to get hurt. You're going to be calling 911, saying, hey, I need some backup up here because I got a child missing and three more that I don't want. Somebody's out there, somebody's, you're going to be protecting what you got left after one's gone. She didn't, she wasn't interested in protecting nothing because she knew nothing needed protected, in my opinion. But that's what was going on. And then Don Wells ended up calling law enforcement at exactly 5:58, and then Candace called law enforcement after Dawn was finished calling them. She called in herself, and it would have been after 6 when she made her call, and she didn't come back off that hill till about 6:22 is what they're estimating, being about the time she came back off the hill, acting like she was looking for Summer again, when really she was just driving around trying to avoid law enforcement until Don Wells drove home from where he had been hiding all day. And to protect her, right? To protect her. She wanted to be behind him. She wanted him to be home so she could be behind him and have his support, and everything that he took weeks and weeks to plan up and carry out on that particular day. If you ask me, that's just my opinion. I'm going to keep it, but that's pretty much how it went down. On June 15th, 2021. But there was no camera footage. And Benny Keys really needs to stop. He needs to stop trying to lead people down dark alleys where there's big nothing boogers to be had. He why he hangs on to Don Wells, I don't know. I mean, Don done rolled his ass off the hill, done set his ass straight, done powdered his fucking wig, right? Don Wells done powdered Benny's wig. And I don't know why he's sitting around, um, trying to smack the freaking powder off um, and go back for seconds, right? I don't know, but something definitely, I mean, maybe evil just feels like it needs to protect evilness, right? Maybe that, maybe that's what it is. I have no idea. But we're talking about a 5-year-old little child. And I'm going to tell you, um, there's a lot of people. There's, not just Don and Candace, not just Jody Sue's and Andy's. There's a lot of kids or adults that cannot stand children. There is a lot of people out there that, just don't like kids. They talk very ugly and very hateful about children. If they dislike the parents, they dislike the kids for no damn reason. I mean, people in this world today, they do not think they do not think rational. Um, and a lot of people are very ugly. They're very evil. They don't want to see anyone succeed in this life. They're jealous as hell of everybody, for some damn fucked up reason. I don't even know. And I don't understand it because I'm not like it, right? Don't want to be like it. But there's a lot of people out there with some serious, some serious freaking mental issues that they really need to address, And I'm going to just be honest with all of this. I don't care what kind of fucked up mental issues these people's dealing with. I'm just thankful they're not mine. Right? That's what I'm thankful for. And I really don't give a fuck. I don't like evil people. I don't give a shit for them. I don't give a fuck what their mental hangups are. Not my problem. Not my problem. That shit belongs to them, and I'm glad it does. And, I don't need to, do anything. I mean, when these people, even when they come at PG sideways, I don't need to do anything because you know what? They already got even with their self being the way they are. Right? I mean, I just consider the source and say, damn, you're a messed up person. You done got even with yourself being who you are. I don't really give a fuck. I got better things to do with my life. You're like a fucking fly. Shoo on out of here. I don't even care. You just shoo it the hell away and move on. They got to live with their self. And that's punishment enough, right? Because every day they wake up, they got to have somebody to be hating on, somebody to be jealous of. I mean, they got like this demon that's destroying them and they don't even know it. It is what it is. But that's what we got going on where Summer's case is. I haven't ever seen so many people supporting evilness in my life. I mean, you got Benny Key supporting evilness. You got that Cher supporting evilness. You got, Even Ryan Finds Truth was trying to support that evilness up there. So many people um, want to support evil human beings. They want to, you know, I don't know where it comes from. Maybe it comes from within people's own families. I mean, there's a lot of people that have evilness in their families and they feel like, they got to support this evil family member. This is my uncle or this is my cousin or this is my brother or my sister, or, my mother or my dad. They feel like, they need to um, have these evil people's backs and um, and help them get away with all their evilness and their bullshit. And it becomes a habit when you start supporting people you love in their evilness. It's very easy to start supporting other people in their evilness as well. And it can become a habit. You shouldn't ever support any type of evilness. I mean, if you're trying to get into the gates of heaven, you can't be supporting no evilness. I don't care if it's if it's your family, your friends, or just strangers out there somewhere. Um, you can't be supporting that because if you support evil, then God's going to say, hey, look, you were supporting it, and that makes you a problem. I can't have you in heaven because when he kicked the devil out, there was angels that supported Satan that got through out with him, right? They were supporting the devil. That's why they got locked up in darkness, chained up in darkness and hell. Um, so you can't be supporting it. You're not going to get into heaven supporting evilness. I don't give a damn who it is. You can't be supporting it. I don't support that shit. I don't care. If one of my kids started doing something evil, they got to go. They are no longer my family. People talk about the Amish and the Amish shunning people. Man, you better shun that shit. If you want to get in the pearly gates, you better be shunning it. Say, don't bring your evilness around me. I'm not going to condone that. I'm not going to have no part of it. You get your life together, you get back on the right road and you start doing things righteously again, you come talk to me. But until then, you need to move that ass on. I ain't got time for it. You're not going to drag me down, in your evilness. And I'll tell you something else about evilness. If they'll do it to somebody else, they're going to eventually do it to you. Whatever they're doing, it's going to come around. What goes around comes around. Be very careful, what you support. I don't support liars. I don't support people on livers. I don't support anybody doing any type of evilness. If anyone's breaking one of those 10 commandments, I do not support it. I ain't up for that. I do get into gossip. But I don't get into gossip like most people do. I listen to a lot of gossip and I don't run with it. I find out if it's true or not. If someone's talking about someone else and I actually care about the subject, then I find out if it's true or not. I do what they call investigate. And if it, because I'm going to be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, when I'm listening to people gossiping about someone, that someone is better than the person gossiping. That someone gossiping is telling a whole lot of lies about someone else just because they don't like them and they want to get you to dislike them too. And I ain't into that shit. There's two sides to everything, and I need to know both sides before I go making any judgments on anybody. I want to know if it's true or it isn't true. I've got a lot of good friends, a lot of really good close friends from hearing gossip about them that wasn't true. That's how I got to know them, was because I was investigating. Is this stuff they're saying true about them or not true about them? So I hung out with them. I made it a point to be friends with them, to hang out with them, to find out if it's true or it isn't. And you know what? It wasn't. It wasn't. They were the best people in the freaking world, man. Give you the shirt off their back. Very good people. And the person gossiping didn't like them because they were good people and wouldn't go along with the BS that, the BS that person wanted to do. The real person that was no good was the one gossiping about them. And it's because they just couldn't get them, on the unrighteous side. Or they couldn't get from them what they wanted. Or they couldn't do to them what they was trying to do to them. It's a sad thing. And that's exactly, what Donnie King as well does, what Benny Keys does, what Cher does. They think that if they say something, if they put a seed in your mind, it's going to grow. Even if it's a damn lie, even if it's evil, and there's no truth to it, they think that once they plant that seed, it's going to grow. It's going to, it's going to change the way you think about someone that they dislike. They know exactly what they're doing. They use the devil's old tricks all the time. And, most people ain't one up on them because people don't know the devil's old tricks. People don't understand the devil's old tricks. A lot of people just go along with the devil's old tricks because, they want to. Nothing can grow in your mind that you don't allow. That you do not allow. But a lot of people, they don't care if it's true or not. They're ready to run with it as well. And that's a problem. That's a real problem. Not my problem. I don't run with stuff. But Benny Keys, wants to plant in people's minds that, oh, there was cameras pointing over at that cemetery and there's no way that Summer's going to be over there, down in that grave site. Well, I beg the difference. Right there's proof. Right there. I mean, you're seeing it. You're seeing it right there with your own eyes. Benny Keys acts like, he's got all of this shit under control. He doesn't. And right there it says it would be, very difficult for a search team to, find a body under a body within the immediate days of someone, something like this happening. Right there, it says it would be a scent distraction, right? A cadaver dog will naturally alert to the vault because a human body is inside, right? To the handler, the dog will look completely normal and expect it giving a second body a layer You know, you have what you basically have is you have a body on top of a body. The In this particular case, Summer would be underneath. She would be underneath the vault, which is, all cement. It's completely cement. And vaults are not like a little thin. They're not like a little thin layer. Vaults are very thick and they're very heavy. It's like a mother freaking sidewalk, right? That's what you're laying in there is a freaking sidewalk. And that sidewalk don't just lay on the bottom. It goes up the sides. All four sides. It makes a box. And then the casket goes down inside of that. And then there's a lead that goes on top of that. And the tote is completely underneath it all. And I'm going to tell you something about this tote. Do you not think that Candace was so stupid that she didn't put pepper in there or baby powder in there or some type of air fresheners, from the dollar store? Threw some air fresheners down in there. They threw something down in there so that it would not have the scent. They masked the smell with some type of fresheners or something, maybe even bleach. I don't know. But they're not fucking stupid. Let me tell you about criminals. Criminals are not stupid. They know how to get, they research how to mess up the scent of search dogs. They search how to pass lie detectors test. They search everything. And Don Wells and Candace, I'm going to tell you something about them too. They were not fucking stupid at all. They didn't search that shit on their computers or their phones. Oh no. Don Wells had Fred Heel searching it on his. He had other people searching it for him. Do you know how much stuff Don Wells asked me to search because he didn't want his devices searching it himself? Yeah, I know how Don Wells and them evil fucks work because they were asking me to search shit for them. And that's what they do. They want it on someone else's computer, someone else's phone, someone else's stuff. They don't want it on theirs. That's what they do. PG, could you search and figure out if I can get that reward money? Well, Don Wells, if you don't know who did whatever was done, how can you end up getting the reward money? How are you going to collect all that reward money if you don't have fucking guilty knowledge of what happened June 15, 2021? Right? That's what I was thinking. I didn't say it, but I was thinking it. What would you have been thinking if Don Wells asked you, could you search whether I can get the reward fund or not? What would you be thinking? I'm just asking. I'm curious. I'm curious to what you would have thought. Because I know what I was thinking. Absolutely, PG's little girl. I agree with that. Greedy. Yeah, exactly. You're talking. Are you talking about that boy named, what was his name, Canyon or something like that? He wrote it up there on the side of one of those outbuildings. Yeah, Cameron. It was Cameron. Exactly. And Tyler, I remember hearing about the boy named Tyler. I think the boy Tyler was the one that was sitting on the fence. Do you guys remember when Candace took that trip? Her and Grandis took that trip um, to get the bus. They went somewhere to get that bus, and there was a boy sitting on like a, it wasn't a picket fence. It was, like a country farm fencing. Um, they were sitting at the top rails of it, and he was sitting with the older boys up there. I think his name was Tyler. Yeah, I think that was the Tyler kid. I think he was the one that had his tongue hanging out and holding, an object that shouldn't be in any kid's hands, right? Especially in today's world. I mean, these kids today don't whittle, right? They don't whittle. They don't whittle wood. So when they got something to be whittling with, it ain't good. The police did not collect footage directly from Morrison Cemetery on the day Summer Wells went missing because the cemetery had no surveillance. Um, Freshly poured concrete lacks the microscopic cracks and the weathering that develops over time and keeps the lower body scent trapped beneath the heavy structure and soil. So you got you know microscopic cracks, but it's not enough to let anything from beneath this emerge enough for search dogs to say, yeah, someone else is down in here. But see, the second body will have complete concealment. That's what it's telling us. And it would be Benny Keys is like, oh no, cadaver dogs would have hit on that. Search dogs would have hit on that. Um, could you please put a one in the chat if you remember clearly that search dogs didn't get took nowhere but up on 110 Ben Hill Road? They didn't get taken any fucking where except at 110 Ben Hill Road. They didn't take no search dogs over to Morrison Cemetery. They didn't take no search dogs over to Jody, Sue, and Andy's house. They didn't take no search dogs down to Fred Hill's house. They didn't take no damn search dogs any fucking where except on 110 Ben Hill Road, where the first search dogs ended up getting messed up by the Wells' own dogs because they didn't have enough sense to make them put them away before they brought the search dogs up there. And then he had to remove those search dogs, and it took more time, and it got dark when they was bringing in the second batch. And they was pretty much ready to call it a night when the second batch came in. So no search dogs were over there on the other side of Beach Creek Road at any fucking time. That's bullshit. Just saying. There's a whole lot of lies going on in Summer's case, and it's sickening. It's real sickening to hear these lies. Like, there was some footprints found. Yeah, there was some footprints found, but they don't know whose footprints those were. They cannot honestly say that those were Summer's footprints. And even if it was, well, she was on back of a dirt bike. It was consistent with someone riding a bike or a dirt bike. And everyone knows, everybody knows that if you're riding a bicycle, even if you're riding a bicycle, let alone a dirt bike, when you go to turn around or you just stop for a minute to catch your breath, your right foot goes down onto the ground. Your left foot will stay up on the paddle. So there would only be one footprint. And those kids were riding dirt bikes and bikes all over that particular area. And the boys would put Summer on the back of those dirt bikes. And they said there was an adult footprint found with the child's footprint. And they didn't know if it was one of the searchers or if it was someone with Summer. Well, wouldn't it make common sense that if they was riding dirt bikes and it stalled out or something, or they stopped to wait for one of the other kids on a dirt bike, to catch up or to go first, they would have had one foot to the ground, and Summer being on the back would have had one foot to the ground as well, because the bike would have been leaning and she would have had a foot to the ground as well. That's just common sense. But they wanted to make a big thing out of 2 feet print that were in totally opposite directions. One was right there on the property next door, where these kids run and stuff all the time. I've also seen, where if it's raining and you're running around, sometimes one foot will sink into the mud and your other foot didn't. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever been running around when you were a kid outside when it's raining, or even after it quit raining. You're out running around with your little friends, and one of your feet will stick into the mud and the other one won't. It's like one foot, mud went up between your toes, and you needed to wash that one foot but you don't know how the other foot didn't get muddy. But it didn't. You got mud between your toes on one foot. There's a big footprint there where your foot sunk, but your other foot's just fine. And you're hobbling along till you could get a water hose or you could get some way or find some grass to get rid of the mud on that foot. Maybe even a mud puddle, right? A lot of times you'll wash it off in the mud puddle you find. One footprint don't mean nothing. Those kids live right there in that area. And that footprint wouldn't make a hill of beans anyway. Because Summer was with Candace and Grandis the whole day. She was with them all the way. She got up in the morning and went with them. Summer's day out. Nobody else got to go. Did you guys not find that suspicious? That Summer was the only one they took with them into Kingsport that morning? You didn't find it suspicious that none of the boys went? That Candace and Grandis got up and they made sure they took no one with them except Summer? And they left everybody else locked up in the house? And supposedly Summer, had her swimsuit on underneath her clothes because they knew they were going to be stopping by the swimming hole. But yet they didn't take none of the boys to go and have fun too. I find that very damn suspicious. No, they didn't want no witnesses. Grandma used her knee to go into Kingsport in order for Candace to pick Hunter up and go to that swimming hole and do what they did. Do you remember Candace saying that her and Grandma had a conversation? And she said, well, the boys won't help, but I know who will. Summer. So I went over to the door and I called Summer out and she jumped right up and came out to help plant flowers. Do you remember that what she said? Because I do. I remember everything about this case. Everything. There's nothing that I don't remember. Well, let me tell you something. I think her and Grandis had a conversation. But I don't think it was about Summer. I think they had a conversation about who was going to do the dirty deed. And I think Candace said, oh, I know who we could get to do the dirty deed. Hunter. I think that's how that conversation went. What do you think? And that, is how evil operates. Evil tells a story exactly how it happened, but not happened. You see what I'm saying? She the conversation her and Grandis had about Hunter doing the dirty deed, she used it but put Summer in there to plant those flowers. She used a prior memory of Summer sitting inside the house playing with toys, which was a few days before. And she used that as June the 15th. It wasn't June the 15th. Summer wasn't sitting in there playing with all them toys on the floor on June the 15th. Matter of fact, Candace took a damn picture of it. And did you take note that when she went to that rehab place, that she sat on the floor and played with toys? Just like she said Summer had been doing the very day she came up missing. Do you guys remember that picture of her big ol' ass fucking sitting on the floor playing with Legos like an oversized kid? I think Candace is really mentally fucked up, if you ask me. That's my opinion. Just saying. And there's another problem with search dogs. Benny Keys. Mr. fucking think you know it all when you don't know shit. They have to have the scent of the child in order to find it. Okay? And that was a problem. That was a real problem, Benny Keys, because I'm going to tell you why. Oh, looky there, Benny Keys. The swimsuit. Look at how light pink the swimsuit is right here. Look how dark it is on Summer. The pink around it. Look how dark it is. Look at it once Candace is holding it. That mother freaking swimsuit baby has been bleached. Take a look at it. It has been bleached out. Look how dark it was before it ended up getting bleached right there. I mean, it's lighter. Look on Summer's chest where it's real green. The fish is real green. And then look at it now when Candace is holding it. It's all faded out. It's not that real deep, vibrant green. Matter of fact, half the darn fish and the color of the fish is all, it's all gone. Look at right there in the middle where it used to be a cream color. Look at it. All that cream color's gone. You can tell this thing has been bleached out. Look how dark the pink lines through the suit is. And look at this one, how light they are. And look at some places they're completely faded out. That is definitely some mother freaking bleach. Somebody really put some strong stuff in there. Yeah, what they did is they added the bleach to the water before they washed it. They added bleach to the water, and then they swished the bleach around, and then they stuck that down in there. That's what they did. If you put bleach in water and swish it around before you put the clothes in there, even if the clothes are colored clothes like this, it won't fade them completely out. It'll do what this did. It just lightens them up, right? It'll just lighten the color. Like if you put something yellow in there, like really, yellow, it'll come out a lighter yellow. It won't, it won't put big spots or anything. The only way bleach does that is if you pour the bleach directly on the clothes. Then it'll mess them up. But if you put the bleach in the water and you swish it around, it will not mess it up. It'll just lighten it up. That's the difference. Exactly. If you well, I don't think that Allison washed. I believe it was Allison that washed this bathing suit. When Summer was taken back to Allison's house, I believe that the reason Candace and Grandis went back to Allison's house a couple of days after Summer went missing was to pick up these clothes. I think this is, when they took Summer into Allison's house and cleaned her up and put her in the school outfit, the first day school outfit. These clothes stayed at Allison's house, and I believe Allison was the one who washed them up, and that's why Candace and Grandis went back there, was to pick them clothes up from Allison after she had washed and bleached them up. That's just my opinion, because Allison's cameras came up missing, and you're not going to take your cameras down unless you've done some dirty shit. I mean, if they really pulled up in front of Allison's house and Hunter just jumped out and went up to the door and Allison went down to talk to Candace and they just pulled away, Allison would have left them damn cameras right where they was. She wouldn't have ripped them all out and hid them up and feared that law enforcement might want them and the footage off of them. Right? She wouldn't have done that. Nobody would have. But if those cameras have them carrying Summer into her home and then carrying Summer back out of their home with different clothes on, they're carrying her in all wet like that, and then they carrying her out all dressed in a first day school outfit, propping her up on milk jugs. Well, that's going to put somebody in prison, right? You can't have that. You can't have that kind of, you got to get rid of them cameras. You got to delete all of that shit off your phone. That is the same swimsuit, Ruby. That is the exact swimsuit that Summer is wearing right there in that pool. Yes, it is. I don't need glasses. I don't think nobody in here needs glasses. And I don't know why, You're being so rude. I mean, you don't have to be here if you can't handle it. If you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get the fuck out. Just saying. Right? Candace. Candace is holding that swimsuit up. She was pulling everything. Once Kathy, the friend, got mad at her and told Nana for life about the box, about, these clothes in that box. And it was, and the cat was out of the bag. Candace decided to show what was in the box with Daisy in them. That is Candace. I don't have a problem with you disagreeing, Ruby. What I got a problem with is you saying, just stop. OMG. You being argumentative. I got a problem with that. Yes, I do. I have a problem with that. I mean, if you're going to be cantankerous and, and out of joint, I don't understand, I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drop it where it's at. I know someone being argumentative when I see it. And if that's what you're going to be in all of this, you don't have to be here. Hey, Ernie, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
No, just arguing with a few content creators that don't know their ass in the hole in the ground.
They don't know their asses from a hole in the ground.
No, they don't.
Benny Keys thinks he knows it fucking all, and he don't know shit other than he's in love with Don Wells, and he'll do anything to try to get Don's approval. And he wants to be on Captain Save the Day, right?
Yeah, exactly,
And
exactly.
for old Don Wells, him and Tim Mullins are really fighting, fighting to see which one, gets to kiss Don Wells' backside the hardest, if you ask me. That's my opinion. And I think it's important that, that this gravesite be checked, because they did not take search dogs over on the other
So
side.
I just found out something. I just found out something that Sherry even said. Don Wells is the one, his own mouth said that they took ground penetrating devices, right? Radar, to that gravesite. Now, why would Don say that to Sherry? See, nobody ever heard that. I caught that a while ago while I was on Sherry's panel.
Yeah.
Like to ease someone's mind. Yes, to ease someone's mind.
Oh, yeah.
So that right there tells me if the main suspect is saying, "Oh yeah, they searched it and they took," and then people are taking it for facts, then that tells me that much more that it needs to be searched.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Exactly. But the big question is, why is law enforcement turning a blind eye to this particular lead? Because there's been, I mean, like, tons of people have called law. I called them myself, and I know that there was quite a few of Summer supporters in my chat who called as well. They told me they did. They said, PG, I called, I reported this. I wanted to know why they haven't looked into this. And I said, hey, you know, good job. That's what we need to do. We got to stay on top of everything, and the more people that call in, asking questions, the more attention it'll get, and maybe the quicker they'll get over there and look into it. But they didn't. They didn't. And I thought they're supposed to follow every lead, and this was, um, a legible lead in the case.
Well,
You have,
here's the thing, PJ. Their hate for you, the creators' hate and disdain for you
oh, they
blocks
very
their
much.
mind. It blocks their mind. Their jealousy blocks their mind from what's at hand. And that's sad. That goes to show me when it comes to investigators or any type of these YouTubers, it just goes to show me it's all about their content and views, and that's all it is. That's all it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you're right. They can't stand PG because I'm willing to do what I do just because, I care about these missing kids the same reason you do. Just because you want these kids to be found, you want them to be brought home, you want justice served on their behalf. You're doing it for all the right reasons. And they fucking know they're not. And you know why they dislike people like me and you? It's because they know when they go spreading their fucking bullshit falsity lies, we're going to stop it right where it is. We're going to call it out, and we're going to make them look like the lying piece of shit they are. And they want to be able to get away with them lies so they can have content, because they don't know how to research and find the truth and bring it instead. That's too much fucking work. It's too much work for them, and they don't like to work, right?
Exactly. And here's the thing about Cher. Cher held law enforcement off for the longest by giving them fake and false information. Nobody ever talks about that, though. She talked about the wrong clothing, all that. She held law enforcement off. Cher acted as a bridge to
Oh
Don
yeah.
and Candace, and that was stupid. She is the one that needs to be taken and investigated as well.
Oh, I'm going to tell you something. She has. Let me tell you what Cher done, Ernie, at the beginning of all of this. And man, you want to talk about somebody pissed the fuck off? It was me, because I'm going to tell you, I sit there and I watch these creators sit there and protect and defend these number one fucking suspects, just to have them, just to have them on their panel, just to keep making money off of them. They didn't care about these kids or the information for these kids or to find these kids or to do anything for these kids. They All they cared about was having these motherfucking evil ass suspects sitting up on their panel, running their fucking lying ass chops in however they could, and getting all those people, those click, likes, views, super stickers, super chats, Venmos, PayPals, all the bullshit. That's all they were into, was the filling up their bank accounts, and they didn't care about any information to help these kids at all. What
No.
And that Cher was the worst at it, because I'll tell you what, every time Don and Candace would get into it and some good shit was about to come out and possibly something to help this baby be found, that bitch hung up the fucking phone.
Hmm.
Protecting
Yeah.
Don Wells, protecting
Yeah.
his ass, and
I
you
know.
know what? She
So
didn't get, you know what, Bernie? She didn't get the information, and neither did anyone else to help this
nope.
baby, because she was a
Nope.
bitch worrying about her pocketbook instead of these babies being found. And that's what I
So
got against these people out here.
so as soon as I got up on the panel there to let them know what's going on and it's going to happen, the first thing she said is, "Do you still have my ass pictures?" The first thing she says, "Do you still have my ass pictures?" I started to
Wow.
say, I started to say, "What ass, bitch?"
You're right. Right. Yeah, you got that right.
So here's the thing.
She ain't got no ass.
Cher had about 96 people, has 90 or 95 people in there. She's been going for 2 hours. Her channel is dying. She has nothing. And then I get up there and it jumps to 140. And then and she's sitting here and all she's wanting to do is talk down and this and that and just degrade me. And I'm
Right.
sitting here thinking like I'm up here for this. And then she brings Benny Keys up. She
Oh
brings
wow.
Benny Keys
Really?
up. And
Really?
she brought Benny Keys up talking about they got this screenshot saying that the Morrison Cemetery had been searched, had been this and that. Then he's like, "Oh yeah, they had
Bullshit.
GPR." The thing about it is, it may have been combed over, but it never
No,
was searched underground.
no. Let me tell you something. It wasn't combed over. It wasn't fucking shit. That's a lie. They haven't ever. Law enforcement or no one else has ever went in that cemetery and done anything to check that grave. And let me tell you something about I'm going to right now and tell you why. Because I do my homework, unlike them fucking evil bastards over there in a hell cell. Um, you know, man, don't get me started on that. But you know what? I'm just going to go straight to the point. The point is Timothy Morrison family dislikes law enforcement because law enforcement actually unlived one of their family members, and they had a big damn dispute about it, and they wasn't going anywhere near this man's grave because they already had altercations with that family in the past.
Thank you, thank you. Look at that message I just sent you a messenger. That's what Andy B said about me.
Auntie Bernard.
Yep.
Oh man, I want to tell you something. That
No,
dude.
but look what he said. Look what he said when we talk about how close I got. He even admitted he was so close.
Uh-huh.
Look
Mm-hmm.
at that.
Yep.
But if you could put that up on, can you put that up on the screen?
I'd have to turn it into content. Listen,
Okay.
um, but I'll bring it. I'll bring it tomorrow night, Ernie. Let me tell you something. You know what they're pissed about? They're pissed that you're getting ready to go up there and you're getting ready to do what none of them motherfuckers had to ask to do for this little girl. You're ready to go up there and you're ready to protest for that grave to be looked into because it was a legitimate tip that law enforcement's been turning a blind eye from, and you're willing to get the attention that it takes for this little girl if she's in there to be found. And they're fucking hating it. They're hating it because they know you can get it done.
Well, here's the thing, PG. They know that I've got the backers to do it.
Oh, hell yeah. And you're going to go do it.
I am.
And I've already had people, hitting me up saying, hey, whatever Ernie needs, I live close to this place. I'm willing to be there. I'm willing to join up. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get this done.
Yes, exactly. That's what needs to be done. And yes, I've got people reaching out to me all over Kingsport, all over Sullivan County, all over Hawkins County, all over Church Hill, and they're like, "Wow, we've seen that. We're not even avid anymore about it. We don't even, but we found out what you're doing. You're back in it. We want to help. What can we do?"
That's right.
So
That's right.
yeah, there's a lot of people. So everybody's like, "Well, why ain't you going to WJHL right now?" Because that ain't how you start it first. You
No,
start it with the people, and then the media is going to follow. See, that's what people try to do. They try to run to the media first, and it's not going to get done like that. You
that's
let the uproar, you let that tidal wave start building up.
right.
The media will follow.
It's like planning a party, baby. You got to get invite all the people first, and then you get them showing up. And once they show up, then you sing happy fucking birthday, right? You don't sing
Exactly,
you don't
exactly,
sing happy birthday before anybody's there.
exactly, exactly. You got to do what you got to do. You got to
Amen.
get things started. You don't just jump in stuff like this. There's
Oh,
permit. There's things that has to be looked into, and there's a lot to do with it.
right.
But right now we're starting. Right now it's just like a ripple in the water. It's already
You
started.
you have
It's
to
going to carry.
You have to plan this, Ernie. I'm sorry for interrupting, but you got to
You're good.
plan this. You got to plan this. You got to plan to find Summer exactly the way them bastards planned to destroy her and make her disappear like this, right? It took them a while to plan and carry out what they did. It took them a while, to plan out Don going to his work and firing his coworker to blame it on, going back the next day with the car that had Starlink so he could have an extra alibi along with his phone. 7 alibis when Candace has got fucking none because her and Grandis is carrying everything out.
So you're right. You're right. You're right. It takes a while. It takes a while to plan it. But the
That's
thing about it is, it takes more than one person to do it.
right. And
That's the major thing. And that's what scares them to death because it
absolutely,
takes more than one person.
and you're not alone. You pack a punch, baby. And I'm going to tell you what. Right now, Benny Keys and all of them guys, they're always been jealous of the power you pack. You pack a hell of a lot of fucking power. I mean, you was up there on Ben Hill Road with your team, literally scattering those people, Don Wells, Candace, all of them like rats. When they knew you were around there, I'm going to tell you what, they were freaking the hell out. Don Wells could not shut his mouth about you to me. So I know how you intimidate the shit out of these people. They're evil, and they know that you know what kind of evil they are because you dealt with that kind of evil so much in your life that you could spot it a mile away. And you know how, and even worse, you know how to fuck to handle it, and you're not afraid of it, and that intimidates their demons.
So here's the thing. Before we made a Facebook post. We made a Facebook post saying we were willing to help with the Summer Wealth case. Don Wells was out of jail at this time. He lost his mind. He was talking to all the creators. He was like, look, every time you remember when, and this is before I even got into the case. This is way before. Remember when Candace said that Don was arrested? And she said, Predator Hunter Nation took him. Remember that? Ernie
Mhm.
Shell. And then she
Yeah,
started saying, stormed the Capitol because I was involved in January 6th, right? Remember
right.
that? And she
Hmm.
was going, storm the Capitol, storm, right?
Right.
And they was like, I don't know how many people, I forget what channel it was, but there was probably 800 or 900 people, maybe 1,000 watching. And then she was like on a ladder or something like that, saying that they busted in Predator Hunter Nation. Ernie Shell took Don. Everybody's like, did you call the police and everything? And she was just lying. But they
Yeah.
had my name in their mouth. And I
Right.
knew there's a reason that my name was in their mouth.
Hmm. Because they were intimidated. They were intimidated, and they was doing everything they could to try to discredit. Try to discredit. That's why they lie. They lie. They lie like that to discredit people. And they and
What,
they think once they plant a seed into someone's head, it's going to grow. Well, not always. It's not going to grow because the people out here ain't going to let it grow anymore. What these people out here are growing now is a seed of truth. What they're growing out here now is a seed for this little girl to be found. What they're growing out here right now is the faith in you to go up there and get what needs to be done.
exactly. And that's what I'm going to do.
Amen.
And it ain't just me. It's our team. It's the people. It's Summer's Army. It will be Summer's Army. I
Absolutely.
told Sheriff. I told him. I said I plan on 300 or 400 people being there.
And you probably get it too. You'll probably
And she
have
said, and they started laughing. They're like, "What's 300 or 400 people?" Da, 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 da. I'll flood the streets with cars with Summer's supporters in that area. They will
that's
have to bring the police out. They will have to bring the police to control the traffic.
amen. There you go. Absolutely. All of these people are going to come in that direction in order to get this little girl found. We've been out here 5 years and we're getting no answers. By God, we want some damn answers. We are tired of hearing law enforcement has a big fucking nothing booger in Summer's case. And it's more like they don't want to have anything in her case.
Yeah.
They keep
And,
telling us. Go ahead.
I'm reading the chat right now and I see that, Paisley Moon is in here. Do you know that she, opened her doors up to RSOs that was on the registered list and let them sleep with her and everything? Did you know that in Corbin, Kentucky? That's where she's at. And she has a bunch of RSOs that daily they have parties there at her house. Literally, we did a drive by one time. Jimbo is when Jimbo did it. Jimbo did it. He did a drive by, and he pointed out
All right.
that these people living in her
Are you
house.
talking about this witchy moon?
Yes, she's nothing but trouble. That's a Nicolina supporter right there, big Nicolina supporter. That's one that want to take you down. That's one that don't believe what we're doing. They'll always have something negative to say in the chat. Why? Because they're pedophile protectors.
I'm going to tell you something, witchy moon. We rebuke your ass over here in the name of Jesus Christ, right? Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, get the hell out of here. You have no power in here. Get the fuck out of here. We don't invite the devil to the angels' parties. See ya. Wouldn't want to be you. Go back into hell or wherever you came from.
What happens is when you start talking about the good and missing children, there'll always be pedophile and pedophile protectors. Notice your chat says she's never been in here before. But by God, as soon as you're talking about doing something good, they're there to tear it down.
Oh, the
They
devil.
come at
Yeah,
they come from the depths of hell, PG. They
right.
come from the depths of hell to destroy anything that's good.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you something. You seen when the devil wanted to offer up that golden bow, the young man that held his feet on the rock of Jesus and got a hold of it, right? The devil lost that golden bow because nobody can win against righteousness. No one can win against righteousness. Evil will not ever trump over righteousness. Ain't gonna happen. And we're gonna go up there, and these motherfucking devil worshippers or whatever the hell they are, you know, with all their mental issues, um, they're gonna sit there and they're gonna watch God at work with getting the attention needed to get that grave looked into to see if this little girl is there or not. Because we want her found. And you're going to get up there and get it done.
I am. I am. Well, I'll say this. We are. I can't do it by myself. We are.
Honey,
We are.
you
We
are
the
not
people are.
alone. You are not alone. Like I said, there's people already coming out to join you. You know it. I know it. They're going to be there. They're going to be supporting everything that you're doing. And we're going to get it done.
Oh yeah, 100%. PG, I've got a phone call. I'll be right back.
All right. I'm going to tell you something. I do not, any way, form, or how, put up with any fucking evilness. Why? Because I don't got to. I don't got to. And I'm going to tell you, I'm backing Ernie 100% because I truly believe he's going to go and he's going to do what he says he's going to do. He's been up there. He's been up there before. He has been all over Rogersville, Tennessee. He has been all over from day one. He's been all over Summer's case. And he intimidates the hell out of Don. I mean, I bet Don and Candace has been calling every evil person they know to try to get this shut down. Go for it. Go for it. It ain't going to happen. I'm going to tell you, I think Don and Candace will learn by now that when they send their demons to do evil, their demons seem to turn righteous, right? Remember they set Jenna up there on Ziggy's panel to attack me? And Jenna all of a sudden turned righteous? And she all of a sudden told all the truth on Candace? And she all of a sudden let everybody know the same as I did that, the Wells are a bunch of evil bastards? That's God right there. That was God. God's the one that lightened up Jenna's heart. God's the one that turned Jenna around to righteousness and to do the right thing at the right time. Because God packs that power.
Thank you, PG. I appreciate it. I was listening to you, what you said about, here's the thing. People in their heart, some people are not evil at all, but they're put up to do certain things. They're put up to act a certain character. And then when confronted with the truth, their true heart overtakes them and shows through. It's kind of like the light showing through the darkness, and they become something other than what they even knew they were. And that right there, like you said, that happens a lot. That happens a lot, especially when you're doing it for the right reasons and you got God on your side. That is the biggest thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, Ernie, I actually have people pretty much my whole life. I walk into a place and people, they don't even know me. And they look at me and say, "You're religious." They tell my children, "Your mom's a religious woman, ain't she?" My kids say, "Yeah, she is." They don't even they do these are people that don't know me. They just see the light through me. Why? Because I walk with God. I know how important it is to stick with the Lord and not let all this corruption, all this other stuff around me, infiltrate and try to, just try to destroy who you are. You got to, you got to be strong and you got to walk with the Lord, man. I mean, as long as you're walking with God, you ain't ever walking by yourself.
Here's the thing. A person goes through a lot in life. We all go through a lot. I've had my battle. Everybody's had their battles. But here's the thing. It's what you make of those battles. It's what you endure. You have to endure. What don't kill you only makes you stronger. And that's one of the most proven saying that's ever been. There has been people that have walked through hell. And I'm telling you, these people are strong, very strong. And you don't have to be strong physically. You can be strong spiritually.
Jesus walked with them. Those people, that's exactly the words my daddy said. What don't kill you just make you stronger. And I'm going to tell you, that's right out of the hills of Kentucky, right there, baby. Right?
Oh yeah, 100%. You're exactly right. And how you're doing something good. You're doing something good when all these haters come at you out of the woodworks. I'm telling you, as soon as they found out that I was on the Summer Wells case again, it wasn't one, two, three, four, five. It was like 8 of them that came out. They're like, "Oh my, no, 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 we got to." But what they're doing is they don't understand. What they're actually doing is they're leading their people to me. They're leading their people on the side that they have no idea about. They're leading their people over to the side of the light. And that's what I want them to do. I don't care if they down me because then people come to see if I'm really that person. And then they usually stay. So that I ain't worried about it.
I'm going to tell you something. Exactly. When that evil comes, all it does is make your army stronger. It makes it bigger and it makes it stronger. because more people are going to congregate, more people are going to see that, you're in the right, they're in the wrong. And that just means there's more people going to congregate for this little girl. They're going to fight harder for her. And it's just going to make what we're doing happen even faster and even better. Absolutely. I, you know, I agree with you 150%.
And I appreciate that. Thank you. You know, I was talking to Allie Cat. I was talking to Allie. I was like, this is something major that we're getting ready to take upon. It's dangerous. It's going to be it's going to be a lot. And she's like, "Are you sure you're up for it?" I said, "I'm up for it more than ever now, because the more people want to pull me down, I see that there's a reason they pulling me down, because it's the same players
Because
as
you
it
want to
was in the
rise above.
beginning.
You want to show them that you're going to rise above that shit.
Well, here's the thing: it's the same players as it was in the beginning when they was all cuddled up together.
Oh, yeah.
I just and I'm like, wait a minute. Are you kidding me? And especially when they're cammed up like Cher, you can see the disgust on her face. I mean, she's disgusting anyways, and she's ugly as hell. But the fact of the matter is, you can see the disgusted look on her face. Like, I can't, like he's going to find, like
Look,
she's heartbroken. Like, oh my God,
look
he's
like
going to do it. And she knows it.
look like her fucking teeth was going to pop out and bite you. Right?
Yeah, it looks like she's getting ready to have a new set of $20,000 teeth after their gums spit her other teeth out.
I'm going to tell you something about Sheer. She needs to shut the fuck up, because when Quentin Simon's case, a beautiful little boy, his mother destroyed him. And this beautiful little child, she told everybody to give her money, give her all this stuff, and she was going to go run down there to Georgia where this lady lived, Billy Joe, and she was going to do all. And you know something, these people donated, and there she said, I need suitcases, I need plane tickets, I need this, I need that. These people donated, and I tell you what, the bitch didn't do nothing. She didn't even fucking leave her sofa, and took all of these people in her chat to the fucking cleaners on a big fucking lie. So you know what she needs to do? She needs to shut the fuck up, because when she says something, she don't know how to carry it out. But you know what? We do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I
Oh,
never
God.
knew she did that.
I'm gonna tell you what, I know a whole lot of shit about that sorry ass fucking bitch. She's been a number one enemy to me from day one, and it's because her ass was the one in love with fucking Don Wells. And her ass was jealous. I mean, this bitch was jealous of me when Don Wells had a wife named Candace, right? I
I
mean,
mean,
how in the hell are you going to be jealous of a married fucking man that you ain't supposed to be having nothing to do with in the first place? You are supposed to be having respect for his fucking wife, even if she is a piece of shit and he's a piece of shit. These two are one. You need to have respect no matter what. But this bitch wasn't having no respect. She was actually sending ass pics to Don Wells and mother freaking doing all this stuff, and then out there spreading ugly shit like, I was the one doing all this bad stuff when it was actually that bitch that did it. I
I
wasn't
mean,
doing
don't,
anything. I was friends with Don and Candace. I was, trying to help find this little girl that was missing. I was hoping these son of bitches were good people and innocent. I was hoping they were the church people that they were trying to portray themselves of being, only to find out that these were some evil motherfuckers trying to hide behind the church.
so let me ask you a question. Are we talking about the same share? We're
Yeah.
talking about the same share, right?
Oh
She
yeah.
don't look like she even has an ass. She
Ugly as
looks like an
all her
she.
tattoos.
Yeah, she looks like an anorexic alien.
Right.
I mean, how would anybody want to see pictures of an ass from that? I mean, Don Wells handles enough sheetrock and flat as a board shit. I mean, hell, he wouldn't want to see that anyways, would he?
I'm going to tell you something. Looking at Sheer reminds me of looking at Andrew Holt. Reminds me of looking at Allie's Hunter's fucking dad, Andrew Holt. You know, it looks like a female version of him. That's what the fuck she looks like,
I
right?
think I, I think she looks like an overgrown hairy chihuahua. You ever see a chihuahua going after your the way the mouth is like automatically, right? That's what I think she looks like.
Right?
Exactly.
You look like the Taco Bell dog.
With hair. Lots of it.
Oh shit.
Seriously, I mean like she looks like a carp. You ever see how the carp's mouth is? That's what she
Oh
favors.
man. Yeah. Yeah, you know I didn't ever think about it, but you're right.
She does. I mean, look at it.
That
And
is
there's a lot
that's true.
of
Right?
yeah, she really does and everything.
Oh shit. I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna. She she only got a bunch of skeletons in her closet, but she is one, right?
Right. I tell you what, I never did understand what a touch me not was until I seen Cher.
You're right. Exactly. Exactly. Don't blink. Oh
Have you ever watched The Ring?
shit. Lord of the Rings?
No, The Ring. The thing that comes out of the TV, it calls you on the phone. It says 7 days.
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that, but I want to now.
Yeah, you might not want to watch it. It's a horror movie, but
Yeah,
it comes up out of the TV. It
don't
comes out of
blink.
the TV, and its
Yeah.
hair is all in its face and everything. Yes, it comes out TV. Yes, BG.
Oh wow.
Exactly.
Damn.
That's scary. Yes, it is.
Shit, I gotta see that. I love horror movies. I really do. I like scary movies.
Exactly. Oh my
Hey,
God.
I've seen some scary ones too. And you're right. She looks like some of that shit crawling around in them. I'm not gonna lie.
She looked like she was a character on The Walking Dead.
Right?
She does. I mean, she does.
Children of the Corn.
Well, let me ask you: do you remember that song that come out about her? She's a mess smoking woman in love with a copper stealing man. You remember that?
Right, right.
You remember that?
I think I do. I think I remember.
Oh my God, it was fucking hilarious. Like, and they would show her back in the back sniffing drugs and shit. You remember in the back? You remember now, right? She said she was eating a bowl of stuff, and I said, "Do you eat through your fucking nose, bitch?"
Right? Oh shit.
I, t- I was one that said that. Thank you all for the chat. Thank you all to chat. Y'all remember that, don't you? Yes, it was a little. Oh wow.
Lisa knows. Lisa saw the movie. Lisa saw the movie. She's talking about it. That's so
Oh
funny.
wow. Oh wow.
They keep on PG sing sing You'll Never Be Lonely. That was the song that Benny and Candace was listening to in the car while they was driving around doing who knows what. Right?
Please tell me you got that video.
What? Where Candace
Beanie Keith and Candace going around in the car and the song "You'll Never Be Lonely." Please tell me you have that.
No, I don't, but I had the video where Candace was sitting at one night she was opened a live up and she started singing the song to him. She was singing she was all, wanting him to come back to Tennessee. Do you know she tried to send Don to jail early in order to get Benny Keys to come back up and stay with her?
Send me that video, please.
Yeah, and
Send
she
me that video because I will play that shit, and I'll be like, Benny, that's all for you. She's asking for you. You
yeah.
know how I'll do it. I'll make it nice. I'll have it so much comedy. I'll have like a New York City comedy club at night.
Do you know that she had him up there hugging and kissing and squeezing this pissy pillow? Allison, Hunter's mom always hung around with her. And she said that Candace would take that pillow, that was, the one that was in question in the vehicle that day. She said that Candace would take that pillow and 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 pee on it, like if she, instead of getting out and running into the woods to relieve herself, or stop at a gas station to relieve herself like normal people do. Um, she would just do it on that pillow. And I guess Benny was up there hugging and squeezing it and everything. And then Allison, I was like, did you see Benny hug and squeeze that pillow? I think he's in love with that pillow. And Allison is like, that's Candace's pee pee pillow. I said, what? And she said, yeah. She said Candace wets all over that pillow and doesn't even wash her pants. She just goes home and hangs them up on the line, to dry, and then puts them back on. I was like, and she's like, oh yes, she did.
Oh my
And
God.
and Benny Keys was hugging it and squeezing it and kissing it, and ooh, man, that was just fucking nasty, right?
Oh my God.
And
Wow.
then get this, he went and stayed at a hotel with them, and they took another girl, and Candace got upset because the first night he slept with the other girl, and then the second night he slept with Candace, and then Grandis. Yeah, he made his way around. He was in
Oh my
all their
Lord.
beds. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah. He, man, he was even racking the old nasty bag of bones. The wrinkled
Oh
up
Lord.
nasty bag of bones, right?
Well, they don't call him blood money for nothing.
Hey Ernie, um, Andy is in the chat, and he said, "Come talk to me if you think you need to, Ernie."
Awesome. Thank you, Andy. I will. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So there you go.
Thank you.
Andy is all for that gravesite getting looked into. He brought it out. He truly believes that Summer possibly could be down in there, and he wants to know. He wants it checked. He wants them to know. He has a need to know, is she down in there? He said he believes that Candace came off that hill, went down to Fred Hill's house, which she did, and had them help, her go over there to that gravesite and put Summer down in it. That's what come out of his mouth.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate him wanting to talk to me. I do appreciate that. How can I reach you, Andy? Can you reach me on Facebook Messenger or Facebook? It's just Ernest Shell with the crocodile hat. If you could hit me up, add me as a friend or whatever, you'll see the crocodile teeth hat. Um, it's just my face picture. I think I've got the capital of Kentucky standing in the background. It's in the background. I was at Frankfurt when that photo was taken. Thank you.
Now, Candace was also on the phone, um, Ernie, on June 15th, 2021. She was on the phone with, Marlena Crawford. Marlena Crawford is Chad Arnold's sister-in-law. Marlena Crawford had a little girl that was hanging up on Ben Hill Road, um, on the 12th with Summer. Summer, matter of fact, the little girl was the one that was holding Summer up because she was so sick she could barely get around on her own. Her and the younger brother, Summer's younger brother, was the one holding Summer up that whole day. And
So Andy says, I don't know what happened or she would be found. In reference to what? Let me see here. I don't know what happened or she would have been found.
he said, he's saying, I don't know what happened to her or she would have been found. He's saying that she has to be in a pretty damn good place where she would have been found.
Right. Okay.
Now, a lot of people, um, Andy had sent Candace a text on June 15th, 2021 as well, saying it's done. Um, Andy knows Chad Arnold. Matter of fact, when Chad Arnold was stalking us up at the cemetery, Chad called Andy and told Andy about us being over there. And Andy came into my chat and told me he saw my little friend out there who found Timothy's grave under all that bullshit brush that somebody put on it to try to hide it. And that, I have the proof of that.
Yeah, you was actually mentioning that. Somebody in the chat says Candace has an OnlyFans.
I do believe Andy was at work. I called his work. They said he was there the whole day. They said absolutely he was there the whole day. He was driving Jody Sue's car, which had GPS. And like Don Wells, he had the extra alibi. And it's funny because he didn't drive Jody Sue's car before that. I don't know about after, but he didn't drive it before that. There's a $40,000 reward for whoever finds Summer. If Summer's down in that gravesite and Ernie draws the attention to it and they find that she is, Ernie will get $40,000. Absolutely. And I'll be right there pushing for him to get it.
And I will donate every single bit of it to other missing children's funds. That is a fact.
And I'll tell you what,
I don't want the money.
You'll be a blessing to all them kids, Ernie. You'll be a blessing to them all. And I'll tell you what, personally, I think you've got probably a 99.9% chance of finding her in that grave. Because as I said, Candace comes out and always stares, always points that camera towards the cemetery since Summer went missing. She didn't do it before, but after she has constantly. Don Wells, when he grinned and he looked past that news reporter, he mother freaking stared straight over towards that cemetery as well. And they put flowers on it. They put flowers on that grave when they were memorializing Summer. I believe it was in 2025. They memorialized her early. And they put flowers on that grave. Yes, they did. Dollar store fucking flowers. And they stuck flowers at the swimming hole as well. So they stuck flowers where when they memorialized her, they put flowers where she was unalived, and they put flowers where she was buried. That's my opinion. And then they went up there and they put lights all around her swing where she stayed and spent most of her time, where they knew she would have been had they not destroyed her. There you go. My opinion, I'll keep it. Them motherfuckers, I'm going to tell you, Ernie, I can read them bastards like a book. And I've done my research. I've done, I've spent hours and hours and hours on this case. I know what the hell I'm talking about. And not only that, but I was on the inside and I know exactly how them evil bastards operate. They're evil.
Yes, they are people that.
Well, it was the perfect plan, man. It was perfect. And not only that, but they went down and they checked Van Hill Road. They went and checked Van Hill Road. Let me tell you something about Van Hill Road. Right here, Van Hill, they have the equipment to dig graves down there. Now, this Paul Hill and Frank Hill, they are related to Andy Bernard and Fred Hill both. Their relation to both. Don Wells wrecked his vehicle right here on Van Hill Road where Paul and Frank live. Don Wells has been around Van Hill Road more than once. I mean, when Don Wells actually got busted and went to jail, he was on Van Hill Road. When he totaled Candace's vehicle, he was on Van Hill Road, actually right outside of Paul Hill's house, right? That lets us know that he was affiliated with these people who have the equipment, who are affiliated with these grave diggers that dig these graves. And it would have been nothing to dig down a little farther, put Summer in there, cover her up before calling law enforcement. And law enforcement comes out and they're running all over hell and back, and there's a big blue tent across the street over top of a grave where the little girl's down in, and they're running everywhere, and they wouldn't even suspect her being there. They wouldn't even think of her being there. It was the perfect fucking crime until Jody, Sue, and Andy talked about it.
I mean, it all makes perfect sense, and it ain't going to hurt anything to just check it.
That's right. It hurts nothing to look into it, right? I mean, but I think
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. It doesn't hurt anything.
And I'm going to tell you something. There was no cameras at that cemetery on June 15, 2021. No cameras anywhere pointing towards that cemetery. I hear there is cameras now. Why is there cameras now? There was none then, but there is now.
Where's the cameras located at?
Could it be that somebody wants to watch that graveyard now to see who's over there, who's doing what?
So where exactly are the cameras at?
I heard they're over across the road up on a pole.
Okay.
That's what I'm hearing. But there wasn't none then. I don't understand, why they would be some now. It don't make sense. And not only that, but Don Wells was always talking about cabins. Remember, he kept talking about cabins. Did you know that over by Van Hill Road, by this Paul and Fred or Frank Hill's homes, did you know just right down the road there is the Spring Creek cabins?
Yes, I've heard about them.
That you can actually rent. And right here is a picture of one of them. Big fire pits and everything. You can rent them. And it seems like, this might have been one of the places. Because Dudley said Dudley said that Don and Candace came out of the house with with Summer looking like she was sedated. She was passed out, and they took her somewhere, left with her, and took her somewhere. Is it a possibility that, like, this is one of the places that they were meeting up with people, you know, um, and allowing stuff to be done? It
I mean,
sounds like,
it's quite possible. Yes, it's quite possible.
right?
Here's the thing: you can't rule out anything with
No,
these characters. You can't rule out anything.
absolutely not. Did you know there was a weirdo showed up at the church, um, saying he's going to find Summer? Did you know Don Wells was scared of this guy? Don Wells stayed in his car driving around outside in the parking lot. And as soon as Candace learned that the guy was inside the church, she ran out in the parking lot, got in a vehicle, and her and Don left.
I never heard this. Never heard
Oh,
this
yeah,
before.
it happened. And did you know this guy? I'll send you the pictures. Did you know this guy has pictures with other little girls?
Really?
Uh huh. And actually, um, this one particular one looks just like Summer. It's not Summer, but it looks just like her. And this guy felt somehow he felt he had a right to know what happened and where she was and all the details about everything. And why would he feel like he has some right to know everything unless he knew the Wells and had some affiliation with them?
Right. You're right. You got your own something there.
Yeah, some strange shit going on.
Huh. Well, see, that's interesting about the cameras. I'm glad you told me about that. So, yes, that's very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's possibly how they know when somebody shows up over there. It's possibly how they know to stalk you when you're there. I mean, why the hell would you keep an eye on a cemetery? Why would you stalk people up in a cemetery if there wasn't something there that you feared they might find? Why would you hide a man's grave? Why would you put all kinds of shit on top of a man's grave so it could, so it couldn't be found unless, by the grace of God, which that's what happened that day that you found it. Why would you try to hide it? They try
I
to
don't,
hide it. What basically what they did is they try to hide it so when people came looking for it, they would just, think they're in the wrong cemetery, like we did. Um, but they think they're in the wrong cemetery and just leave. Why would you do that? If there's nothing down in there, why the hell would you do it?
well, what gets me is Don Wells told Cher, and Cher just admitted it a while ago, and I hope somebody clips that. Why would Don say, "Oh yeah, they already searched it with ground penetrating devices and all that"?
That's a
There,
lie.
there, that's a throw off. That's a throw off
Yeah,
automatically.
that's a throw off. He's trying to deter. He's trying to deter you from doing what he knows is about to go down.
Oh,
He's
he's not going to be
scared
able to stop
because
anything.
because when you do this and that grave is looked into, and if she's found, guess who's going to fucking prison?
I don't think he'll make it to prison. I don't think he'll make it to prison. I really don't. I think I think that the community would get band together, and I think it would be bad. I really do think it would be bad. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully, justice prevails no matter what it is.
Amen. Absolutely. Because you know what? That little girl deserves justice. Her brothers deserve justice. Do you know that they let Don and Candace sign them over to the state to avoid prosecution for what they done to them boys? Them boys did not get no justice because
Wow.
someone else decided their fate for them. And it's wrong. It's wrong that people are allowed to just sign children over to the state and walk free after they destroyed those children's fucking lives forever. And they didn't have to pay for it.
Right. You're right. When you talk about stuff like that, it pisses me off. It really does. It makes me irate at these people. And it's a sad thing too, as well. On the behalf of those children and what they probably went through and had to endure. That's really, really sad. Well,
Right? And you know probably what makes you even madder, Ernie, is you had that bitch out to lunch, you had that bitch in your car, and you was packing pizza up there to her, and really, you know, um, thinking that Don Wells was, the heinous one, and here you had somebody just as heinous as he was, lying through her fucking teeth, running around with you, knowing that she was evil as fuck like that, but you didn't have any idea.
so what it was about that is I didn't know that she would actually be the one that had things to do with what happened. No, I did not. I've always thought, and still to this day, I still think that Don was there. I think Don some way was there, and some way Don is the one who carried out this this plan or whatever it is. I mean, that's just the way
Don,
I mean.
you know,
Go ahead.
I believe that him and her both were evil as fuck. Both of them
Oh
was
yeah, 100%,
putting those was
100%.
putting those children through mental pain and trauma and misery, making their lives a living hell, putting them through stuff that no child should ever have to go through or endure. And I believe that both of them together, along with other people, planned what happened June the 15th, you know, of 2021. I think they got together, they planned it out, and they freaking carried it out against a 5-year old innocent little girl that done nothing wrong, that should have never been done the way she was done, let alone her brothers done that way as well. And they destroyed her to keep from going to prison. And they had plans of continuing to put these boys through that hell and that pain and that suffering and misery until Child Protective Services removed them. They got an opportunity to tell the truth and to tell what was really going on up there. And that's when the charges came through. And Don and Candace hid it from everybody what sick bastards they truly were, what really happened to these children. They hid it, and nobody found out until just recently when the paper surfaced.
Right.
I
I mean, you're
mean,
right on that. You're right.
and
Here's the thing.
and I don't understand why law enforcement didn't press charges. I don't know why law enforcement didn't put the fuckers in jail for what they done. I don't understand how they got away with everything they've been doing. Did you know Don Wells came out and said that he sold a tape for $5,000? He said his boss called him, wanted to know why he sold the tape for $5,000 of his boss having essaying summer. And he said his boss said they're going to call me a child, you know, essayer. And Don and Candace started laughing and laughing and laughing. and thought it was just the most hilarious thing in the world. As they was talking about it.
I didn't. I heard that before. I've heard something before about that. I didn't know exactly the details. No, I
Yeah,
didn't know exactly what happened.
I got the video of that, and you should
Would
hear.
you? Would you be able to give me that video?
It's damn. I play it out for you.
Yeah, if you would just play it out for me. When could you play that out for me?
Give me a second. I'll see if I can find it. If you can hold the chat's attention for a minute, I'll see if I can find it.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to hear that. So, what do you think about it, chat? Hello, chat. How are you doing? What do you think about this? Obviously, these other creators don't know who we are, do they? They have no clue what's getting ready to happen, do they? No clue. No clue. Wow. Ain't that wild? That is crazy, ain't it? I mean, just in the admission of guilt on a video like that, saying someone has that and possesses child porn. I mean, come on, think about that. Hello, everyone. Hello, Phoebe, Lori, Jack. Hey, Jack, what are you doing, buddy? It's past your bedtime, brother. I will be careful. Thank you, Carrie. I do appreciate that. Thank you. It's very past due. It's very past due. It's way past due. Yes. This is going to piss me off. I've never heard this. This is probably going to piss me off. It is. It's probably going to piss a lot of us off because I'll be playing it on my show as well too. Uh, oh my God! I can't believe this is actually going to happen. It's actually getting ready to happen about this video. That's crazy, ain't it? Thank you all. I appreciate it. Thank you, MS Justice. I do appreciate you. Thank you. Listen, guys, I'm just an ordinary person, but I do have a heart of gold and I do have passion and skills within this subject. So, yes, we are going to do our best with everything we have to work with. That's what I can promise you. Everything is going to come out. Thank you, Phoebe. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for sending me that link. Thank you. I want you to send me that link immediately. Make sure you send it to the Ernest Shell. You've got my Facebook, right? Messenger? Ernest Shell. It's got the crocodile hat. I got a new Facebook. I literally just got it fixed today. So,
Okay, Ernie, I got it.
all right.
You said you had.
Where the f you get that shit from?
Don, you said you had
Holy
videotapes
crap.
of me.
What happened? What? What did you say about me? I have videotapes of Josh, apparently. What the f?
I don't know why you're laughing.
Holy
You're the one that
crap.
said it.
Are you serious?
Don, you said.
How do you know that I said that? Why would I say that?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Number one, I don't lie, bitch. You can get that through your.
I don't.
Right
I
now.
mean, everybody lies.
No, I don't lie. I don't lie, motherfucker.
I'm not sure why Candace thinks it's so funny. I can play it for you if you want to hear it.
Because my boss called me, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, look, Josh.
Okay.
You can scoff or you can suck a dick or whatever you want to do.
All right.
Whatever the f- it is you do, you little.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But my boss called me the other day. Man. Yes.
Okay.
Richard.
Oh.
He called me. I said that I sold somebody a tape. Right. I sold some motherfucker a tape for $5,000 to that showed him having sex with my daughter, right? And then that's the whole thing. And he was crying. This motherfucker was actually crying. This motherfucker is like a big shot of this community. Like, oh, holy fuck. And he was crying. He says, but they're calling me a child molester. And I'm like, I started.
Did you hear that?
I did hear that.
Want to hear it again?
Yeah, let's hear it again.
Everybody lies.
No, I don't lie. I don't lie, motherfucker.
I'm not sure why Candace thinks it's so funny. I can play it for you if you want to hear it.
Because my boss called me, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, look, Josh.
Okay.
You can fuck off or you can suck a dick or whatever you want to do.
All right.
Whatever the fuck it is you do, you little
Yeah.
okay?
Right.
But my boss called me the other day. Man. Yes.
Okay.
Richard.
Oh.
He called me. I said that I sold somebody a tape, right? I sold some motherfucker a tape for $5,000 that showed him having sex with my daughter, right? And then that's the whole thing. And he was crying. This motherfucker was actually crying. This motherfucker is like a big shot of this community. Like, oh, holy fuck. And he was crying. He says, but they're calling me a child molester. And I'm like, I started laughing.
I mean, why would? So it's just like he's throwing it out there in people's faces,
Yeah.
and he don't give a damn about it. That right there should tell everybody right there. That is crazy.
Right. That's
That's so
telling
crazy.
that's telling everybody that he's got videotapes of some high people is why he's getting away with what happened to this little girl.
And for Candace to be laughing like that,
Well, let's remember she had substantiated charges of doing that shit herself, right?
oh yeah, exactly. Well, PG, I'm going to be playing this. I'm going to play this on my channel too, as well. This little video from this,
Hey,
and
I
I'm
hope
also going to
you.
direct people. Thank you, I appreciate it. I'm going to direct people over to your channel as well to watch this show. I appreciate you for having me up. I've got to get up early in the morning. Actually, it is in the morning. I got about 4 hours sleep to do, and I've got a lot of things to get done. But I'll be getting in touch with you later on tomorrow evening. Is that okay?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime,
Okay.
Ernie. Hey,
Thank
God
you,
bless.
chat. Thank you, chat. Thank you all. Appreciate you having me. Thank you, PG.
Hey,
Thank you.
anytime, Ernie. God bless.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, you guys. PG's heading out of here as well. I appreciate everybody being here supporting Summer. God bless each and every one of you who are truly here for all the right reasons. God bless you. And I just hope and pray that Summer is found, that we all get closure in this. Most of all, I pray that little Summer gets her own space in this world to rest in peace. I pray that her brothers get closure. And I pray that that baby gets justice, the justice she so deserves in this world. That's what I pray for in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Keep those prayers going up, you guys, because God is definitely moving. He's moving in this case. I truly believe that something's going to be done very soon. And I sure hope in the name of Jesus Christ that this baby is found. That's all I ever wanted, was this baby to be found, brought home, and justice served. I said it from day one. Summer was the topic. The gold was to find her, bring her home, and get justice for her. That will not ever change. But I pray that it happens real soon. I pray that Ernie is able to do what needs to be done for Summer's sake, and we get her found. Amen. Keep those prayers going up, you guys. May God be with us. Keep the prayers going up for Michael Vaughn, Sebastian Rogers, Jack and Lily, Emmanuel. Keep them going up for little Genesis. So many children out here. Nancy. So many needing to be found. Justice needing to be served. Let us be the ones praying for them, because I know God answers. And let's pray for one another. Family that prays together stays together. Keep those prayers going up, you guys. In the name of Jesus Christ. Good night, everybody. God bless. Much, much love.